Hello, welcome to another episode of MOPO, where we discuss matters of personal opinion. It's all MOPO. Today, we'll be discussing the next episode in the Gotham series, episode 3 of season 3, the 3-3, 33. Name a sports player that's got 33 as a number.
Larry Bird.
Yeah? All right. Yeah, don't be looking at me like that.
Come on, Bob. Don't.
Listen,
that hurt my heart right
we could have played that off like I knew that was his number. I know he was a good athlete.
At least you know the name Larry Bird, and just like, who the hell is Larry Bird?
It's like I know faces, not names, right? I knew his name, not his number. Anyway, on really off topic,
right?
Bringing it back to Gotham. I really like this episode. Strange things are happening that I don't know, throws me off. I feel like they're kind of contradicting some things that they were hinting at in earlier episodes.
Well, I think we also make the mistake sometimes of assuming and thinking things are what they are when we don't really know where they're going with any. Like the whole thing with that kid who's a Joker, who might even wind up still being the Joker. Yeah,
all they gotta do is just bring him back to life.
He was the Joker, then not the Joker, like 5 times already. Like, so we really don't know where they're going. We're assuming Batman stuff. And this kid is not Batman yet. So we have no idea what they're really going to do. But they do a good job of, like, throwing little stuff out there to get you, like, guessing and like wanting to be, like, this is this person, and
I guess it makes the show buzzworthy.
Yeah, like,
gets everybody talking about it.
This is that person, but in actuality, we, aside from the literary characters that we know by name, like Oswald Cobblepot and Edward Nygma, and
who both. We haven't seen Edward in a long time, but we see him in this episode.
Right, he kind of
Oswald still making
return.
his move towards mayor, even more so now. Like, he straight up declares himself.
Yeah. So like get on to the episode. I think we just make we make assumptions that may or may not be true. We don't know yet. This is all yet to be
They
determined.
Could be just throwing out little Easter eggs or little, homages.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you see this, good for you.
So they start
and we take it as like, oh, they're telling us this. And it's like, no, we're not telling you anything. We're just kind of like, hey, throwing it out there.
So they start off the episode in, Barbara's Club. I honestly forget the Galavan girl's first name, but, it's their club. And they got this, like, magician, hypnotist guy performing. And, he does a pretty good job. But he has, like, ulterior motives where it makes it look like he gets, like, this well-to-do couple, and he hypnotizes the guy and basically makes it, like, so he's gonna, let him in the house. And I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna, like, rob these people.
Yeah, like, he sets up a back door in the hypnotism.
Yeah, before he wakes him up. And, he's just gonna, like, burgle these people or whatever. But, no, he wakes the guy up in the middle of the night, and, like, he forces him to kill his wife and then kill himself. And he just, like, chills in their house, like, reminiscing on his little sister or something. And I thought it was, like, kind of, like, a weird way to open up the show, but, like, just, like, to introduce this, like, weird character that when I saw previews, I thought maybe he could be, like, the Mad Hatter. But, like, just because he got a top hat and he's, like, all crazy,
and he's a hypnotist,
it doesn't mean he's...
the hypnotist is kind of the giveaway. I thought that was just a coincidence.
But then later on in the episode, you do find out his name, and it is, like, the name...
It is Jervis... Jervis Tetz?
Yeah, Jervis Tetz, who is in the comics known as the Mad Hatter. So it's like, it's funny how this show does, but he winds up trying to look, for his sister. He hires Gordon to look for his sister, and, we might not be going, we're going to touch back and forth on the episode. We're not going to go
we're not going scene for scene.
But he winds up contracting Gordon to find his sister, pays him all kinds of money. And you know how Gordon does. He goes and finds Felicia. Selena, sorry.
Bye, Felicia. Bye.
And, he finds this girl, and basically she agrees, to go find her brother with him, but the dude man double crosses Gordon and almost makes Gordon try to kill himself, but is stopped by his sister. So she kind of fires a gun at him, and it makes it look like he gets at least clipped.
It did make it seem like Gordon got shot. But,
no, I'm talking about the Mad Hatter guy.
Oh, well, just the way Gordon jerked awake, I was like, holy crap, did he just get hit?
I didn't think that he got hit, but I think it definitely, he heard the gunshot.
Yeah, because then he got startled.
But then Gordon kind of, arrests her, and that's kind of how they end up with that. I did skip way ahead on that.
Yeah, he skipped a lot of stuff.
Because that's almost towards the end of the episode. But I just wanted to kind of talk about the Mad Hatter guy.
But before we get off the Mad Hatter and everything, he's what we were talking about at the beginning. We totally glossed over why we even said all that stuff at the beginning, where it was, they hinted that the Mad Hatter is somebody from Indian Hill in earlier seasons, where when they were kind of collecting everybody up, you saw the book Alice, and a guy reading it, and he was all kind of talking to himself and stuff. So you're thinking, oh well, that's probably the Mad Hatter, because the Mad Hatter I always thought was kind of a shorter dude, a shorter, rounder guy,
right?
And it was, a little thrown off to hear that he was never in Indian Hill. To be okay, maybe he was in Indian Hill, it was just a different guy. It was, I'm from the north, my sister's in Indian Hill.
Right.
So I'm kind of alright, well, they're really kind of throwing things around. You can't expect anything out of these little cameo appearances of hints.
Yeah, like you said at the beginning, there's a lot of Easter eggs that they're going to throw out. Because it makes sense that...
And they want to constantly throw curveballs at us, too.
Yeah,
they don't want us to see exactly what we think we're going to see.
It would make sense that, the Mad Hatter was somebody a little bit younger now, because he's not older until, Batman is older. It would make sense for the Mad Hatter to be a very old man right now, because Batman is still a young boy.
Well, who would he be older?
He's much older than Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Wayne, I'm talking about.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't make sense for him to be already a very old man. You know what I'm saying? He'd be dead then, by the time Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
Talk about the Mad Hatter. So I can see why they made him a younger
Well, yeah,
person.
I mean, that's the excuse for everything in this fucking show. Sorry, earmuffs. But...
But no, so... We go from the club, I guess, to Gordon and I don't want to call her Lana Lane, but
Vanessa Vale.
Yeah, Valerie Vale.
Valerie Vale.
And she basically treats him like a booty call or whatever, and he's all I think he's a little bit disappointed, but same time he's not chasing her down either. So, we know from last episode, his ex-girlfriend's back in town anyway, but he don't know. So, he goes and tries to get paid while she's in there, negotiating terms on a job, basically. And they're all oh, well, you don't gotta worry about Jim Gordon, because he ain't associated with the PD
Yeah, you'll never see him. And then here he comes, walking in,
trying to get paid.
Oh, hey, what's up, Bullock? I'm just here to get my check. Y'all owe me money.
Right. And she comes all behind him oh, so shocking to see you here.
And he's like, what do you mean? I come here from time to time to get paid.
Shocking to see you here. You moved away. But she, basically comes out and says, oh,
I'm here with my fiance.
Me and my fiance are moving back. He's a doctor. He got,
Which I didn't expect that. I thought they were broken up, and that's why she came back.
Why is she coming on a train by her damn self if her husband is like a doctor?
I guess, he's behind getting the bags, and she's she's just walking ahead.
That dude was following her with mad bags, man. Like, that's a cheap trick. Little tool they used at the end of the last episode to make us think that she was alone.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So we were both wrong about her intentions coming back to Gotham then.
But there is a surprise on who this fiance is.
Right.
Because during Gordon's investigation to find Alice, he ends up getting his head bashed in while he's investigating the Narrow Bar, where this girl Alice supposedly worked before she burned it down because she got the blood on the counter, and since her blood is poisonous.
Yeah. If we didn't mention that, like, apparently the Mad Hatter sister kind of has this power where her blood is like poison. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, and it was strange too because when she killed her landlord or poisoned her landlord, she even said, "I didn't know how he was going to turn out," which is kind of like, oh, well, how do they normally turn out? Like, what kind of... Because he wasn't dead. I thought he was going to die, but it was his eyes were all, like, gone, and his mouth
almost like
was
a zombie, but not really like an undead zombie. More like
just,
maybe like just a crazy, like, almost like the movie The Crazies.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, and the Mad Hatter wanted to... Well, Jervis wanted to... use her as a weapon, basically. He's a hypnotist, so he's going to try to get her to bleed on everything. Which is just like a hazmat issue.
It's like that's your plan? You're going to have this chick bleed all over everybody? And
it's fucking weird as shit.
It's a Mad Hatter, it's a mad world, and drive everybody crazy, I guess.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah,
Mad
probably.
City,
that's actually a nice little... connection you made.
Maybe so.
But back to Gordon, he got his head bashed in with a baseball bat by the owners of the Narrow Bar, and he beat him up and went to the hospital ER.
Gets whacked in the back of the head.
The sound this thing made, you're not getting up from that. It was right below the skull where it meets the spine. Like, you're dead. You're dead. And he kind of just does like the, that was messed up, and gets right back up and decks the dude.
Yeah, and beats everybody up, and then goes to the hospital or whatever.
But, yeah, so he's getting sewn up by this doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, James Gordon, the detective? And he's like, yeah, not anymore. And he's like, oh, I'm Mario. No, what's his name? Was it Mario?
Mario.
Oh, yeah, I'm Mario. And I was like, Luigi, where you at? And he's just like, okay, Doc, whatever. And he's like, I really love Lee. I'm going to treat her good. And like, Gordon's face is like, what the... Oh.
He's like, oh, yeah, she says all kinds of good things about you. Like,
yeah, that's the opening line.
Instead of just like being like, yeah, I'm what's her name's fiance, how you doing? Like, he's all weird about it.
Yeah, off to the side, kind of like, yo, I'm fucking your ex.
Right. Well,
she tells me all kinds of great things about you.
I take it like he's insecure about Gordon. Like, just the way he, like, I don't know.
Like, he's intimidated?
Yeah, like, he's worried about Gordon, like, taking his fucking chick.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Because he's all up in her face about, they're at dinner later on that night, the doctor and, what's her face? And, he's all like, oh, I seen Jim Gordon. She's all like, oh, why didn't she say that right away? He's like, why didn't you tell him my name? And stuff, like, so there's definitely a little...
He didn't say it like that.
Yeah, but he should have.
He was just like, oh, well, you didn't mention me. He didn't even make the connection when he heard my name.
Yeah, but he should have been like, why didn't you say my name, bitch? But, so there's definitely a little something going on there.
There's always going to be something in the background, but I think it's more of not is Gordon going to steal her, because Gordon's willing to let her go, I think, so long as she's happy.
Yeah.
What I think is Lee isn't ready. Like, she should have thought twice before she moved back to Gotham. Like, where did she think Gordon was going?
And
she's doing this.
She knows that Falcone is dirty, right? Like,
she's got to. She worked with the PD.
She worked with the police department. Because we come to find out that this Mario guy
is actually Mario Falcone.
Yeah, the son of Don Falcone. Or whatever, who makes another... Got a couple, re-emergences.
Yeah.
Because
he did kind of go into hiding.
Yeah, like, I guess he don't feel like he needs to hide anymore. Or...
And even he made mention of the fact, like, oh, I'm worried about, Gordon. You have the type of beauty that starts catastrophe.
I mean, she's sexy like that or whatever, like...
But, so that kind of ends like that. We have... I can't say this enough. The Penguin is my new favorite villain. Like, he's making so many moves, and he's doing the kind of things that I would like to think I would think of. For instance, he's not the running for mayor part, which he totally calls out the current mayor.
Yeah,
and he's like, "This is a democracy, is it not? Let's have an election."
Thinks he's just gonna reinstate himself as mayor, not like there's nobody else to run, and you know what? And
everybody, I guess, at this point has been somewhat complacent because they feel like they can't go up against them. Because, like he says later, he's like, "I own the police, I own the judges."
And there's nobody else. I mean, Gallivan is gone. He's the mayor before that, and he was the mayor before Gallivan. So, good for Penguin. He gets up, in front of everybody and,
he's like, I'm the one who brought out those fiends from Strange's lab.
And throws his name in the ring, so I'm running for mayor.
It's like, I've done this, I've done that, while this guy's sat around with his head in the box.
Referring to when he was held hostage
by Gallivan. Oh, by Gallivan, right?
Oh, yeah, it was Gallivan, right. It wasn't an Arkham, it was just in his office or whatever.
I'm gonna drop tarantulas in there with you.
Oh man, but the diabolical things that Penguin could do if mayor is just crazy.
Because when the mayor said all the different people that he has in his pocket, he just basically gave the Penguin a checklist. Yep. He's just like, oh, okay, that's all I need to do. Because I'm still holding down that he's working off of that. That touch that Fish gave him, where she said nothing's impossible or something like that. What did she say?
Nothing is impossible.
Something along those lines.
And
he's really working with it.
Spark, but
I think it's definitely ignited something in him, like a serious drive.
For sure.
Because he was out when his mom died. He was in a spiral down.
It's funny because he has a sit down with the mayor later on, and the mayor tries to set him up, I got some guns on you.
Oh yeah, 3 dudes roll out with machine guns trained on them, and he's just like, oh well, bravo, you've done a good job, but
he's only
I got some
one
friends
step ahead. But I'm 3 steps ahead, and everybody else in the restaurant pulls out guns.
Everybody, we're talking old ladies,
little old lady
the waiter,
got, a Tommy
little
gun.
Children are sitting there with little pop guns, stick them up.
I'm thinking, lady, go ahead and fire off that Tommy gun because you're going to do a backflip. Is the first thing you're going to do.
Yeah, she is.
A Tommy gun, but
she's at least going to go through the wall.
And he alludes to the fact that he's gonna get some help. Penguin does.
Yeah,
he's like, I wanna have a fair election. I'm not gonna kill you. Because it would be fun if I was running. If I was
what's the point of having a fair election if you're the only one running?
Right. And he sets it up. He goes to Arkham, and the new director. Is he's trying to chum him up, and the new director's all like, "Well, what if I say F you, Penguin?" Penguin's like, "Well, then I'm going to say F you, and you ain't going to be no director. You're going to be cleaning the toilets in here and shit."
All right, and he's just kind of like, options. Ain't that
right.
quaint?
So essentially, he gets the Riddler, Edward Nygma, free from Arkham with, letter of sanity, just like Barbara got.
Yo, and this is so funny, too, because he's even sitting there with the warden. The warden's trying to basically, like, kick him out and be like, no, you're sane. Get out of here. Like, I checked you out myself. And he's like, when I murdered... they're like, oh, well, you did that when you were insane. How about this person? Insane. This person. Insane. This person. Insane. This person. Insane. Now, sane.
And you're not being held guilty for things you did while you were sick.
It was so... And he's just like... Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but... And I feel like he's about to challenge... his ability as a doctor. He's going to be like, really? Like, I don't think you know anything. You're not a...
Like, if you think I'm sane, then you're the one who needs to be...
Yeah, you're a horrible practitioner.
Right, up in this...
And that's when Penguin rolls up in a limo, and he just sees the limo, and he stops middle sentence, and he's just like, oh, all right. Clearly, this is why.
Right, this makes a lot more sense. As we know, by far, he's no fool.
Oh, no.
And you know what? On all this shit that's going on, I'm watching this episode, and it just makes me realize, not that you don't know already, but Batman is a fucking G. He is a badass motherfucker. Because he can outsmart the Riddler. He's a better fighter than Gordon, because Gordon, needs his fucking help. And shit like that. He's just, like, better than the best at what they do. And, it just makes me marvel at what, the show could eventually turn into.
Yeah.
If given the opportunity.
I agree. So we have one more storyline to talk about. And it's the one that you were, like, super surprised about.
Yeah, the
Clone Bruce.
The clone Bruce Wayne. So... They kind of, pick up with them, in their parlor or whatever with this kid. And,
They're like, you can spend the night,
Alfred,
they feed him the next morning. Alfred is, get this kid the F out of here.
This kid not one bit, but, like, he's not thinking straight. Like, because really, what are you going to do? Like, are you really just going to kick this kid the fuck out and throw him out into the woods?
Well, not even that. It's like, do you really want to throw him out into the world and have people seeing him thinking it's Bruce and then sullying the Bruce name, the Wayne name?
So
you really have no choice other than to keep him.
Yeah. So, like, they go to bed, and the next day, like, you kind of catch up with them, like, and he's like, Alfred is trying to train the kid. And says,
he burns himself on a candle.
Yeah. Like, this is still that same night before they decide really what to do. They feed this kid. And while they're arguing about what to do with them, my man reaches for a roll, but his arm goes over the candle, and you hear it, and you see it burn his arm, but the kid didn't cry out in pain or nothing, just kind of looks at it like, and goes right...
Yeah, just confused, like, that's what happens when like, skin touches fire?
Like Garfield, eating lasagna, this kid is, like, tearing up these baked beans, that's what it looked like to me, or whatever. But, so the next day... Alfred's trying to teach his kid a thing or two. And this kid is, like, giving it to Alfred or whatever.
Yeah, he's ducking every jab and then throwing a connecting punch.
Yeah, like...
But Alfred's also only going half speed.
Dude, maybe the first one or two, but then after,
because remember when he's just like, oh, wow, you're really good. It's like, and then he doesn't hold back, and then he's blocking more of the kid's stuff, but he's still not getting his in.
Yeah, but them first couple, 3 or 4 or whatever, like, I think by the third one he still tried a little bit harder, but that kid was digging up in Alfred's ass. But, you got...
But Alfred connects. Gives him a bloody nose, and he's just like, oh, okay, let's keep going. And they're like, you didn't feel that?
Yeah,
like,
his nose is all busted up, bleeding halfway down his mouth.
No, I mean, it didn't look that bad. It was like a little bit to his top lip.
It is bleeding now.
Nah.
And, it's hurting. That's going to hurt you. But this kid just gets up like Ivan Dragoff and whatnot. It's like, that's cool. But, he clearly didn't feel it. And then
they discover a scar on the back of his neck.
Right, which leads...
And then Bruce is trying to
figure out what, see if
so that's pretty distinctive.
Reference. And they're hanging out, and all of a sudden, Cat starts breaking into, Bruce's house, and he shoos the clone away, and basically, she's asking Bruce for help to go find Ivy. Really upset. She's all like, "Oh, it's about Ivy," but it's really, I can tell it's about her. She's hurt. She
feels
any
guilty.
friends.
Well, and also she feels guilty because she got Ivy involved.
And that little girl was her only real friend besides Bruce or whatever, and she lost that, and she wants to find her. But he basically disses her and is like, "No," and she curses him out and whatnot. But the clone is watching him the whole time. And he's all, like, mimicking him.
Yeah, because Bruce says, "I'm sorry," and the clone is all in the back, practicing how to say it.
And the clone, you see him over Bruce that night with, some scissors, and you think he's going to,
Yeah, you're thinking some homicidal tendencies.
But he's, cutting his hair, and he steals a car and goes and meets Kat.
Right?
I'm thinking when he's mimicking him, he's, nefarious, he's just trying to get some butt, or whatever. He likes Kat, or whatever. And I didn't even think of that, or look at it that way at all. I thought he was trying to kill Bruce Wayne, and, take over his shit.
Well, I think he's trying to take over his shit for sure, but maybe not kill Bruce Wayne just yet.
Yeah. So, it was a very entertaining episode. I think we covered on basically everything. It looks like this next episode is going to pick up off of where Gordon has Alice,
Yeah, because what was the very last scene? Because the very last scene
was where Bruce, the clone Bruce.
Oh, that's right. That's when they get into the car. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's so we did actually do a decent job getting to the end with this.
Yeah, we made it around. We came full circle.
Yeah, wow. With it. So, all right. All right, that's what's up. All right, so as far as opinions of the show, like I said, I really enjoy. I am loving the Penguin.
Right.
I'm very curious to see what's going on with the Jervis.
Oh my god, yeah. So one of the coolest scenes was he hypnotized Barbara, and they're like, "Oh, make her
do something whimsy."
Yeah. He's okay, but I'm gonna make her fall in love with me, and he does, and he tries to play her, and he doesn't realize who he's messing with. So he's like, "Oh, you love me, but what if I don't love you?
What if I love somebody else?"
And this bitch goes and breaks a glass
and right to his throat.
And he very quickly wakes her up.
Yeah, he's like 3, 2, 1. You're awake. You're awake.
And I just thought that was a very funny scene. Another thing about him is I might just be not seeing it right, but it looks like when he's doing people dirty, his eyes go crazy black. He has no color in his eyes. It's all pupils.
So it's not that way all the time?
I don't know. That's what I mean. But to me, it looks like his eyes go crazy black.
Because his eyes just look dark in general. I didn't realize that it was. I didn't notice a difference between him. I'll have to keep an eye out in the next episode.
What I'm saying. Maybe I was missing that. But tell us what you guys think.
Yeah. What was your favorite part? Were you happy to see Edward Nygma come back into the scene? What do you think about the whole Mario Falcone getting with Gordon's ex-girl, Lee? And what do you think?
What do you think about the Penguin being mayor?
Oh, the Penguin being mayor, yeah. I'm loving that. I'm excited to see where that goes.
That would be a mad city.
And what other motives do you think clone Bruce has?
Oh, is he just trying to get some...
Do you think he's just trying to get some kitty cat?
Some of that pussy cat?
But...
Yeah, tell us what you think. Remember, it's all matter of personal opinion. It's all MOPO.
It's all MOPO on Twitter. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Thanks for listening.